Oneshot.ai is an AI sales tool that claims to be able to eliminate manual tasks and enhance every sales interaction with their AI agents. So to find out what this tool can actually do and how you can use it, I sat down with their CEO and founder to see the tool in action. Please enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I'm here with Gautam Ritchie, the founder and CEO of Oneshot.ai. And I'm super excited to talk to you because I've been playing around with Oneshot.ai for a few weeks now. And from my understanding, how I see OneShot is it essentially helps automate the research and personalization of outbound. So it kind of eliminates the blank page problem that salespeople deal with. So as a sales rep, when I'm looking at prospecting and I'm looking at a prospect's profile, one of the hardest things that a lot of people don't talk about is the blank page problem of coming up with what to say to them, right? So you're looking at a prospect's page, you know you need to reach out, but it's almost overwhelming because you want to be creative, you want to show your value props, and you want to show that you did your research. And then after an hour, after thinking about it and trying to put something together, maybe you get something, or maybe you just wasted an hour on something that actually kind of sounds like it's not personalized at all, right? So that's my take on OneShot. I'd love to hear from your own words what OneShot is and what it helps salespeople do.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much spot on. I'd say if we start the problem is outbound is really hard, right? Outbound has got a lot harder. I think a lot of people are like, what worked last year doesn't work this year. I think what worked last month doesn't work this month. Everything's moving so quickly. Email used to be a great channel. Static email sequences used to work. AI came along, response rates are dropping. So how to stand out in the inbox is really hard. I think everyone knows and agrees that static generic templates do not work. And then everyone kind of knows AI emails are a bit lame and a bit AI, and people can see through those as well. So what we try and do is get that balance of personalization using AI and research without making it sound too AI. So we're trying to keep that human element. So we have two parts of the solution, which I can show you. One is how we can do this on a one-on-one basis. So if I was just kind of prospect you, Nicholas, and then another could be hey, actually we have a really good lead list. We want to do this at scale. And so we have two different solutions that can support SDRs, individual contributors on a one-by-one basis. And then we also have where we work with a lot of SMBs, startups, mid-market on scaled outbound. Do you want me to jump in and give everyone a show?
Yeah, that would be great if we could jump into the tool and play around with it.
I'll start with just
This is Future Nick interrupting this video to let you know that if you like this content, you're also going to love the follow-up newsletter. Over 17,000 sales reps and sales leaders read it every single week, and so should you, because it's totally free and gives you the best sales tips and strategies you won't find anywhere else. So check the link in the description, go sign up for the follow-up, and let's get back to the video.
The super boring stuff here. Yeah, we integrate. So, a lot of customers will ask, do you integrate with Salesforce and HubSpot, which are predominantly the main two CRMs everyone's using. And then we have SDR teams who are using Outreach, Salesloft, Apollo. So the big problem these days is you have to integrate and work with the CRMs, the sales engagement platform. So we absolutely do that, which means we won't touch existing customers and so on and so forth. So I set this up for you, Nick, and just to show you, obviously to do good outbound, we need to understand the organization first. So actually just set your company up quickly. So join the follow-up, and what the platform will do is it will understand, firstly, before we can do any outbound, and it does this all automatically, well, what does join the follow-up do? And it's a newsletter-based content platform focused on sales professionals. This is what they do. Newsletters, this is the challenges you solve. We all know AI is not, your website might not be up to date, or this might not be fully accurate, and we get that. So with any part of the platform, you can chat with AI. And you can come in here and say, well, actually, my company does this. And you can edit and control exactly, we also have video content via YouTube with a big audience looking at sales tech.
I will say I'm pretty impressed there where it says unique approach that, we speak in a casual tone, like your friend, not your manager, right? So it did pick up something that I feel like most AI that I see, it's almost like reasoning. that it understands that.
Yeah, exactly. And all of this will lead to what we're trying to create is a natural output, like a real message created by someone who's actually taken the time to personalize it. So the better it understands your company, your organization, your tone, the better the output will be. So now what it's doing is like, now I've told it, actually, you know what? Join the Follow-up also does a ton of video content like we're doing right now. So now it's going to redo the company description based on this. So it's now going to like scrape the website again. It's going to look into that. So now it's going to generate that new company description with everything that we've just added in as well. And you can edit this. You can say, actually, my company does this. We work with a lot of startups in stealth. So now it's like a multi-channel content platform, twice weekly, and YouTube content. And so now it's going to have large audience base, focused on sales. So now it's added that YouTube piece, which wasn't there before. So now we understand the company. Obviously, the next thing is, and remember, the final output where I want to take everyone to is messaging, message output. Okay, so now cool, I understand what the company does. Who is it you sell to? Like, you're not selling to CTOs, you're not selling to CIOs, right? So the platform will understand who your ICP is. Again, everything I say is caveated with that. If you think AI is going to do 100% of your job for you, you're going to be wrong. So what it'll do is it'll do a really good job of taking you to 80%. So this is the guess of saying, okay, look, we're going to go after early sales development, some enterprise people, some sales enablement. Let's just pick sales enablement. Now, what are the problems that sales enablement have? Struggles to find fresh, engaging content for sales teams, training and development, needs consistent, reliable sources. So this is the problem they face. This is how Join the Follow-up would help them. This is the newsletter. And now on top of that, who are the right people? So assuming, like, if I'm going to message someone who's 21 versus someone who's 50, it's going to be a very different type of message, right? So it's also looking at what that target profile looks like, what that kind of demographic, firmographics looks like. What does the company look like? What is the competitive advantage you might have? And again, same principle. You can actually say, you can agree or disagree or improve it. Chat with AI and go into more detail. And every persona will be different. So now for an early stage SDR, they struggle to keep up with the evolving pace of sales best practices, daily quota pressure. It's a very different pain point. So back in the day, we'd send the same rubbish to everyone, the same template to a sales enablement. So now we understand the personas. How do we find and reach out? So we have two parts. We can integrate with your data providers, your sequencing tools, or you can actually even say, now it understands your business, you have access to our data. 276 million people across multiple data providers. So you can do exactly what we just did. Actually, I want to go in here now. Now you understand my business. I want to go after some sales enablement folks. And so what we can do is we'll find these various sales enablement people or all these companies, and you can add them in. Obviously, we don't want to go through that whole process now of creating the campaign. So what I've done, I've just created a few already. I don't know if it's a big saying in the US, but in England, it's like the classic, here's one I made earlier. And so here's the potential ICPs. And what we would now do is we use AI to research them. So even before we send them that message, it's like, hey, let's quickly research these folks. I won't bore you with the details. This is a very detailed prompt, which is like, how can we carry out the most thorough research we can? And we feed that prompt lots of different things, like their LinkedIn profile, Google News reports, websites. So this is the output. So like Emma is sales manager at Tech Sales, whilst also being a prominent figure in personal finance and parent space. These are the challenges, time management for team development. So these are the problems Emma is facing. This is how Join the Follow-up would help. The solution. Here's an exact example what the benefit would be. And it will do this at scale, hundreds, thousands of prospects. Cool. Now we have that. This is all done for you, right? The platform will now come up with personalized emails. So it'll pick up on something personalized, specific about Emma. It will come up with the pain point. This is now the solution. And again, every single code, we have thousands of users, right? And every single one will say, yeah, I like this bit, but yeah, this bit sucks, or the PS is terrible. So we allow for as much customization as possible. And just to show you a final piece here, and then we can kind of finish up on this, is like what that looks like in the real world. So I have this email. This is my email. So, hi, Sarah, Sales Development Manager at Salesforce. Do you find it challenging? So this is the email. This is AI. And so what we can do is say, it's too long. It's too long. Cut the fluff words. Make it snappy. All right. And actually, before you can even see what this looks like on mobile. So if I see that on mobile, it's pretty ugly. Lots of block text.
Big chunk.
Yeah, and like it's not going to get anywhere. So now, like, let's make it snappy. And so now we can feed this in. The good news is, once you're happy with your email, that's that prompt saved, and every email after this will look exactly like that. Yeah. So now now we're getting a much snappier email. Yeah, and that looks much better on mobile. And then we can even say, you know what, add a PS, make it a joke about their job title and company. And you can use anything, right? You can I'm just showing this as an example, but now I should have a super short email, which is personalized with a jokey PS at the end. So there's my quick email there. Being a sales development manager, you probably dream in CRM fields. Don't worry, newsletter won't cry any day. Obviously, it's AI. It's a bit cheesy, but the response rate to that.
PS's work. They definitely increase response rates.
Yeah. So that's the kind of main scale platform. I don't know if you had any specific questions. Otherwise, I can jump into like the one-on-one extension, which you've actually played around with as well.
Yeah, no, I think this is super helpful. It's really cool. I like how it has prompts out of the box, right? So like that could be a big thing where it's like, hey, our tool can do all of this, but you have to build the prompt yourself. I saw when you had one of the prompts, it had like search Google News, search this, right? Like the average user is not going to know how to do that. So I do like how that's out of the box, and then you can also tweak it through this to get the email that you like. So I like that part for sure. But yeah, let's jump into the LinkedIn side of things, because that's what I played around with, and that's what I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, and that this is like, so everything I've shown you is at scale. It's a platform. You can go after like hundreds, thousands of prospects at the same time. But what about if you're like more focused, and you want to do like 10, I want to do 10 high level, like super detailed outreaches. This is John. I want to target John. John is VP GTM leader, works for this company, Hayden. Like, I don't know what this company does. I don't know anything. Like, how do I prospect John? So we have a Chrome extension. It's free to use for like a week, and then there's like we have a $49 or $99 package. We have all of these prompts inbuilt, so you can, like, before I even create an email, I can just research and say, okay, this is our default prompt. So what this will do is it will research everything about. Let me move that out of the way. It will research everything about John before I go after him. So what does research mean? It will look at his LinkedIn profile. It will search for news on his company. It will even understand what Hayden actually does. So now what it's doing, it takes about 20 seconds because it's scraping a lot of places. It's doing everything, but you'll see the output in a second. You'll get this detailed research on a prospect, which is relevant to me. So once this loads, you'll see it in a second. So this is John. So what you'll see is he serves at VP as well, bringing extensive experience in enterprise software. These are the challenges he'll be facing with Hayden's expansion into distributed cap. So it's understanding he's got pipeline issues. This is how Oneshot can help. Market penetration issues. It's got recent news about what like Hayden have done. So it's now I understand what the challenges are, and now what I can do, I can go into that email, and on a one-by-one email, it will now bring up that email process, the one that I've showed you within the platform. And now, again, you'll have this. The good news, again, once you're happy with that email, that prompt, so whoever's LinkedIn profile you visit, that email style will be saved. So I can jump from John's profile to Sarah or Tim or whoever. And so now you'll get that personalized email. I can copy it. I can copy the subject. I can paste that into my one-on-one. I can do this for LinkedIn. Again, remove the fluff, keep it short on words and mobile friendly. And so you get the gist. That same process that we showed you within the platform, you can now do this. So if I'm on John's message, I don't even have to like read. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy with that email. I'm going to copy it. Yep. I'm going to just go into my like Gmail and I'm going to send this. Or I'm going to put this into my data provider. Or again, I can go back and I can create LinkedIn messages. I can create way more, right? I can go much more into this to focus on that. I can create LinkedIn posts, cold call scripts. I can roast them if I wanted to. LinkedIn posts are very cool. What this will allow you to do is it will understand everything about what your company does. And then it'll start creating social posts. So now what it will do is it will now understand everything about me, and it will start creating social posts I can show on LinkedIn as well. So it's moving more beyond that channel. And so I can see here what we can start doing is as more people start to post and create their own digital brand, what OneShot will do is understand everything about your company, everything about your ICP, your personas, everything about you, and it will start generating like personalized content for LinkedIn. And you'll get that content. And again, I don't like that at all. It's way too long. I want something viral. Also make it very angry because everyone likes angry LinkedIn posts.
Yeah. And I think what you can also do is you can feed it like a creator that you like, right? And say like, hey, copy their structure, copy their tone, and basically like build content off of their structure that you like.
Exactly. And you can copy exactly that. You can copy in blogs, LinkedIn posts, viral posts, and say, hey, I really like this one. Can you create it like that? And so this is where you'll get these types of posts, and that's working really well. So we're really trying to focus on like multiple channels that allow you to do it. But yeah, there's a lot there. There's a platform, multiple channels, social, email, LinkedIn, one-on-one scale. So we're trying to we have customers of all shapes and sizes. And the main point here is you can kind of do this to the level you want it to.
Yeah. On that question or on that point, is there someone that you're seeing use this more than others? Sales reps, sales teams? Is it founders, marketing? Is there someone that you have in general as your customer?
Yeah, I'd say for the Chrome extension, it's typically SDRs, AEs, so like heavy prospecting. So people are probably spending at least 1 to 2 hours a day doing outbound and using the Chrome extension. For the platform, it's very much early stage founders. Because it's the platform, it's the data, it's the messaging, it's the entire outbound process. So seed and Series A, I would say, are most of our customer set. They've post product market fit. They know what works and they want to scale it with high quality content.
By any chance, have you run any comparisons on like sending out the personalized AI emails at scale versus like, let's say a templated email, right? Where it's like, you can kind of make it seem personalized just based on like the lead list versus like actually personalized with AI.
Yeah. So we We have a ton of case studies on the website. So we this is pretty much every single pilot we ever do with any customer who are using Outreach or Salesloft. So they'll have an SDR team. The SDR team will typically be sending us a templated generic sequence. Before they buy and invest in us, they're like, hey, we want to even, does this even make any difference, right? Like, well, before we drop 10, 20 grand, typically we see a 30% improvement from a generic template, and a good generic template. Like, I'm not talking like a really bad, these are like decent companies. There's always an improvement in open rate and a 30% increase in response rate every single time. I'd say 9 out of 10 times we see that bump with what we do.
That's definitely substantial. I mean, the response rate is what really matters, right? Like open rates you can get with a good subject line, but if you can get that response rate up, that's what drives pipeline. Well, sweet. That's all the questions I had. I appreciate you walking me through the platform. Anything else on your mind or that you want to leave it off with?
Appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. I think just on that last question, the next level is how much AI personalization do you want to do? Because you can take a generic template and then you can take an AI email, and then within an AI email, you can use AI to personalize the subject line, the opening line, the pain point, the PX. So there's almost 5 layers within that. And if you go the full email versus the opening line, we actually see just doing the opening line and then the static rest of the message is actually one of the best performing. So you don't actually need to go AI crazy. Just one line is normally good enough.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to see. I mean, especially in LinkedIn comments these days, right? Like what's AI? Like I'm sure you have it more than even I do, right? But if I post something, I can always guarantee there's 1 or 2 people that's like, they comment on every single one of my posts and it's always AI generated. I'm like, ugh, yuck, right? But this is actually
it's a really
your platform.
Ugly, long comment as well. And I never understand what they mean or say.
Yeah, it's just reciting exactly what you just said, right? It's going to be like, that is really important. It's like, thanks. But yeah, I do like just playing around with the tool so far. I think it's the most human sounding that I've found because I think it's not trying to do like the extra stuff of like, repeating back everything that they see on the LinkedIn platform. Yeah. So thanks for...
appreciate the time. And then anyone wants to hit up a demo, a pilot, it's Oneshot.ai. And I'm on LinkedIn as well, and I post quite a bit about outbound.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much. Oneshot.ai. Thanks, Gotham.
Nice one, Nick. Thank you.